think you can say the answer. Okay. In this case, okay, no problem. Here, Nana, considering the ball is smooth, means there is no friction between the ball and the ball. In this case, quotient of restitution means generally we have to measure in a direction normal to the surface. Nana. Means where suppose if you consider them as rigid bodies, like suppose this is one triangle and it is one disc trying to hit the triangle there. Okay, quotient of restitution is, keep in mind. Right. I got some disturbance I found, I think. There. Then here, Nana, this is one disc, circular disc. Okay, consider. And it is one triangle. Suppose they hit while moving on some one horizontal surface. So consider it as a circular disc. And here in this case, if they ask the quotient of restitution, restitution means due to the normal force between the two surfaces in contact, how the relative velocity will be changed. Okay, that we measure with the quotient of restitution. Means while traveling forward in this direction, suppose with the u1 and u2, okay, in the normal direction, normal means how you draw center to, suppose draw, this is tangent and here it is the normal drawn. That normal generally joins the two centers here. Okay, and this is the normal direction. In that direction, here, what the components of velocities before colliding means the component of u2, the component of u1. Those generally we take them as the components in the normal directions. Normal directions means velocity of first one in the normal direction and velocity of second one in the normal direction. These are before the collision. Before the collision, there will be some relative velocity of approach. Okay. So while writing the quotient of restitution means what we write there, relative velocity of separation divided by relative velocity of approach. Okay. Relative velocity of approach means generally we have to write u1 along the normal direction minus, okay, here this is u2n, okay, in the normal direction. N stands for normal direction. Okay. This is the relative velocity of approach. Suppose if it moves in opposite direction, we write minus of minus. That we write plus. Okay. So here, after the collision, the velocity of this one in the normal direction, normal means here perpendicular to the tangent in the normal direction. First one is v1n and second one, suppose this is v2n in the normal direction. Relative velocity of separation, we write it as n minus v1n. That yesterday I told Nana. Before the collision, u1 is greater than u2. So we have to take this one. After the collision, v2 should be greater than v1. So we have to take v2 minus v1 by u1 minus v1. Okay. Otherwise, sir, I write like v1 minus v2 by u1 minus v2. Then you have to put the mod here. Okay, that is the thing. This is actually the original formula, quotient of restitution, how to find. Okay, so here we understood the quotient of restitution we measure due to the normal force, how the relative velocities will be changed. We measure the ratio. Okay, so here, keep in mind, if the surface is smooth, Nana, okay, even here also, if the surface is smooth, along the tangent, there will not be any force since the surface is considered as smooth. Okay, here, the two surfaces coming in contact, the surface is smooth. Here there is no friction. No friction means no force there. Force is equals to 0. If force is equals to 0, then you can consider when you come to the collision between the rigid bodies, the velocity components before and after collision, they will not be changed. Means what I am saying, along the tangent means here, this is given what I consider. Tangent means parallel to the tangent. This is the line, what I am taking. Whereas this is the along, this is the velocity along tangential direction, and it is the velocity along normal direction. And here I write u1 tangential, and here also u2, the tangential direction I write like this, parallel to the tangent, common tangent. This is u2 tangential. Okay. So after the collision, the velocities of two bodies, one along the tangent, suppose this is v1 along tangential direction after the collision, and this is v2 along the tangential direction. What I am saying, if the surface is smooth, since there is no force, then the velocity should not be changed according to Newton's. If the external, if the force there is equals to 0, which it tries to change the velocities. Okay, here the velocities are changed by the internal forces only now. Here along the normal direction, the velocity u1n before the collision change it to v1n because of the normal force at the tangent here, at the normal here, point of contact, due to the normal force, normal reaction, what we see. That normal reaction, the velocities will be changed. Okay. So here in the collision, the velocities are changed due to the normal reaction between the two surfaces in contact. Okay. That's why that internal force is considered as the force acting on the two bodies. Here the tangential direction, if there is friction is the actual internal force. That friction tries to change the component of velocities in the tangential direction. Okay. But here I consider it is smooth. There is no friction. Means there is no force. No force, the velocity remains constant. The body moving with constant velocity tries to move with the same constant velocity. That's why in the tangential direction, what can I write? For the first body, u1 tangential should be equal to after the collision, v1 tangential, and I can write for the second body also, along the tangential direction, there is no force. I can write along the normal direction here, tangential direction, before the collision is u2, this is the velocity of second body, along the tangential direction, is equals to, I have to write v, velocity after the collision, second body v2, along the tangential direction. Okay. Provided the surface is considered as smooth. Okay, this is the original method on how to find the coefficient of restitution, how to write the velocities in the tangential directions. And you can write here if the masses are given, like m1 and m. Okay, yeah, that normal reaction here on the whole system. Means the total force on the system is n, plus on the second body normal reaction is acting in opposite direction, minus n. Total force on the system will be 0. Okay, that internal force. Okay, so since total force is equals to 0 on the whole system, not on one body. On one body there will be some normal reaction. On the whole system 0. That's why what we write, law of conservation of linear momentum. Law of conservation of linear momentum means total in the normal direction of the system for both the bodies, the total linear momentum before is equals to total linear momentum after. So if you know the velocity, you can add one more equation. Okay, these three, and one more equation you can add in the normal direction on the whole system. What can we write? m1 into u1 in the normal direction plus m2 into u2 in the normal direction. is equals to, for the second body, after the collision, we write like this, m1 v1, but keep in mind in the normal direction, plus m2 into v2 in the normal direction. This is linear momentum in the normal direction for the whole system, not one single one. Okay. In that case, suppose if they ask a normal reaction is acting on the first body or second body. Okay. On the first body or second body means anyone you can write normal reaction is equals to, is in opposite direction to the initial velocity of first body. Okay, so minus n is equals to, I can write m1 into delta p by delta t, and then m1 into v1 in the normal direction minus u1 in the normal direction, mv minus mv. Okay, divided by delta t if they ask a normal reaction. Or for the second body also you can write it, this normal reaction is acting in the same direction of velocity. So plus n is equals to, I can write m2 into v2n normal direction minus u2n normal direction by delta. Okay. And keep in mind, by considering the surfaces as smooth only, you can write this equation particularly. Okay. If there is friction, later we will discuss that model. Okay. So when you come to the basic models, the disadvantage is they consider the masses as point masses. That's why without this n term, suppose it is moving with the u1 and it is moving with the u2, straight away we write m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equals to, after the collision they move in the same direction here, like m1 v1 and plus m2 v2, straight away we write. Since we are considering there as the point masses, then here the two velocities are in the direction of normal only. That's why they are not dividing the components of velocities. Straight away in basic model, we write m1 u1 plus m2 u2 equals to m1 v1 plus m2. Okay, that thing generally what we do now. So here, when I come back to my problem after giving some basic concepts related to it, okay, if I come back to my problem, here I consider it as a point mass. Very good. But what I am asking, find out the coefficient of restitution between the two. Coefficient of restitution in this case, while finding out, here from this concept, I require the velocities of two bodies before and after in the normal direction. Normal direction means, look at here, since it is point mass hitting the wall means from the wall, the normal direction means this is the direction of normal reaction. Okay. So in the direction of normal reaction, before and after the collision I require. Okay. So since it is wall, very easy, I can say wall, it is always at rest. So consider it as a second body. Okay. I can write u2 equals to 0 before the collision and v2 is also equals to 0 after the collision. Okay. Since wall is at rest. Then I can write the coefficient of restitution very easily. E is equals to, here for my problem, E equals to V2 in the normal direction. Okay, second body, velocity is 0. That's why that 0 you can't resolve it into components. That's why the velocity here is 0. 0 minus V1 after the collision, first body. First body has the velocity v in this particular direction, but I require in the normal direction. Normal direction means I have to resolve this component in the direction, like, okay. So in this direction, I am getting this is v cos theta, and if I want to write the other component, this is downwards. So downwards I will get this is v sin theta. Okay. So this is what actually V1 in the normal direction, and this V sin theta here will be equals to, in the downward direction, equals to V1 in the tangential direction. Okay. So I require what? V1n. 1n is V cos beta. Okay. Divided by here means that straight away I took it as V1, V2 minus V1 means I took it as plus. Okay. Means I am considering this direction as positive. Okay. No, sir. General notation we take, sir. Generally, we take it is positive x-axis. This is in positive y-axis. Then I have to write here minus. Why? Because V cos beta according to your sign convention means coordinate system in your coordinate system that is along negative x-axis. Okay. And here divided by u1. Okay. And u2 is 0 means u2n is also 0. That's why here second part is 0. And u1n. Look at u1 is in the downward direction. Like this. This is u1 here. Okay. Which is equals to u given. And it is making with the normal an angle alpha. So it is a downwards means actually it is in the fourth quadrant now. Okay, in the coordinate system. It is given like this means it is in the fourth quadrant. Why? Because we have to start the vector from origin. Okay, we should not end the vector at all. So in the fourth quadrant means I will get the two components here. It is by taking this line with the horizontal alpha means it is u cos alpha. Okay, and this one will be u sin alpha. So look at here after resolving and getting this is u cos alpha. Look at along the normal direction. So this is u of first body in the normal direction. That only I require now, which is u cos alpha minus 0. And a normal direction I am getting in this direction downwards. I am getting here. This is u sin alpha, which is the velocity of first body before the collision in tangential direction. Okay. So here if I write E is equals to minus of minus plus V cos beta by u cos alpha. Yes, I am getting E is equals to V by u into extra I am getting cos beta by cos alpha. Okay. So here he gave u, he gave v, he gave alpha. Then he is asking beta, or else all the things are given. What is the coefficient of restriction? You can find out. Okay. But in the problem, he gave to find out the coefficient of restriction only alpha and beta, not the values of v and u. So I have to eliminate v and u there. If I want to eliminate v and u there, then the disadvantage here, there is no other equation in the normal direction. Okay. So what can I do here? Why I am not writing this law of conservation of linear momentum in the normal direction? I don't know the mass of second body on a wall. Mass of wall is unknown. That's why if I write this equation in the normal direction, I won't get anything. That's why that is useless. So second one, what I am going to do there, here, suppose in the tangential direction, okay, tangential direction, what I said here, if it is smooth, I considered initially it is smooth now. Smooth, I have one equation here. Velocity of first body before the collision tangential direction means this one should be equals to velocity of the first body after the collision, velocity of first body after the collision in the tangential direction. Okay, these two are equal. That's why here these two are equal means if I equate those two, I will get u1t, that is u sin alpha, is equals to v1t. v1t is v sin beta. I'm getting there. And I require v and u, I don't know. So v by u, I can write it as sin alpha by sin beta. That I substitute here. V by u is sin alpha by sin beta into here cos beta by cos alpha. Okay, it is appeared like sin alpha by cos alpha, which is a tan alpha. divided by here, okay, tan alpha into cot beta you can write, or tan alpha by tan beta, anything you can. Okay. So for example, if they give alpha and beta values like 30 degrees and 45 degrees, okay, and here, sir, how to judge alpha is greater than beta or beta is greater than alpha? Okay, if you ask, then it is very simple to say, Nana. Okay, how to say, sir? Generally, quotient of restitution is less than 1 or maximum equal to 1. Okay, so here, inelastic collision, if we take, okay, then E is less than 1. E is less than 1 means tan beta is less than 1 now. From this, you can write alpha is less than beta, so that beta is greater than alpha. Okay, that's why here I told like a 30 degrees and 45 degrees. Okay, means after the collision, the angle will be more. Okay, angle with which it rebounds. Before the collision, angle will be less. But if it is elastic collision, no need to find anything now. In the elastic collision, if the collision is elastic, straight away we can say E is equals to 1, and E is equals to 1 means tan alpha by tan beta equals to 1. That implies alpha is equals to beta. So if it is elastic collision, straight away we can say collides with 30 degrees, rebounds with 30 degrees. Same we can take. Okay, this type of models basically what we practice, 30 degrees, 30 degrees. What will be the, in laws of motion chapter, what will be the change in linear momentum, what will be the impulse line, there we do. Okay, and here in this case, suppose my question is, if the surface is not smooth in this model, then how to solve? Okay, surface is not smooth, then here disadvantage for us is what you wrote here, this is not valid. Means u1 in the tangential direction is not equal to v1 in the tangential direction. Why? Because there is friction tangential direction. Okay, that friction here, suppose on the first body acts, means on the mass m after colliding. Suppose the friction acts in this direction, any direction you can assume. Okay, and here that friction tries to change the velocities in the tangential direction. So generally friction means what we write, F is equals to m into a. A means change in velocity divided by time. Okay, change in velocity means final velocity minus initial velocity. Look at final velocity is downwards, initial velocity is also downwards. Okay, both are downwards means according to your sign means your coordinate system, both I have to write negative nana before the collision, after the collision on the first one. So F is equals to m into a, I have to write before the collision minus v minus v. V is v sine beta, means what I'm writing here, Nana, in the tangential direction, v1 in the tangential direction minus u1 in the tangential. Since previously F is equals to 0, straight away these two are equal. What I wrote here. Okay. So in this case, friction tries to change the components m into here v1 tangential means I have to write v sine beta. Okay. Both are negative, so I take a negative sign here, common, minus u tangential, that is also downwards, negative sign taken common, minus this is u sine alpha divided by delta. Okay, so again to find out, already I got E is equals to, using the normal direction here in the derivation, V by U into cos alpha, cos beta by cos alpha, I got. Okay, previously. So here to find out the V by U, what the information you require here, F into delta T, magnitude if you write here, this minus becomes, already I took in opposite direction now, upwards. So I can put here in the upward direction minus here, Okay, means opposite direction to the change in linear momentum. So minus get cancelled, or confusing also, no problem. You can put the mod, means magnitude of friction. I'm fine. So that magnitude of friction, if you know, then F into delta T is equals to by M equals to, you can write V sine beta minus U sine. Okay. There, what are required problem is frictional force they have to give, and how much time it will be in contact with the wall while striking they have to give, and mass of the ball also they have to give. Okay. Then by solving these two equations, you will get the coefficient of restitution. Okay. Right. This is one model. If the wall is not smooth, if it is rough, we have to do we have to write the second equation like this. Not U1T is equals to V1T tangential direction. Okay. And here, related to this concept in the collision. Okay. Basically, smooth, already I told E is equal to tan alpha by tan beta. If it is not smooth, we have to solve the two equations. Okay. And then suppose here, not this much tough. Suppose one two-dimensional collision if they give. Okay. Two-dimensional collision means like this here. Say this is one mass moving like this in this direction. This is M. Okay. Making an angle 30 degrees with the horizontal, means along x-axis. Okay. And here the second mass is moving at an angle 45 degrees with mass 2m in this direction. Okay. Means both are not moving in the same direction. Means not one-dimensional collision. Okay. And their velocities, you take them as like 10 meters per second. And here this is some 5 meters per second, some values. Okay. And after the collision, they mention here like this. This is a 2m moving with some velocity. I don't know. This is some v1. And here the angles are suppose interchange. Means 2m initially makes 45 degrees. Now it makes 30 degrees. And here it makes more angle. Like here it is 45 degrees and its mass is 2m. Moving with a velocity. Okay. This is actually previous mains question only. In this case, here consider the collision as elastic. Okay. No need to mention why, because angles also given. To find out the angles only we require whether it is elastic or inelastic. So no need to mention. Answer, this is one collision. We don't know whether it is elastic or inelastic. Okay. In this case, find out what are the velocities after the collision. V1 equals to how much? V2 equals to how much? And what will be the coefficient of restitution if they ask? Okay. Then I think you know how to find V1 and V2. By simple, here the masses are point masses. And here during the collision, there is no friction between the two masses. Why? Because not mentioned. Considering the two surfaces as smooth. Okay. And we consider the friction only when he mentions in the question. Otherwise, we consider the two surfaces are smooth only. Okay. Smooth means in the tangential direction there will not be any change, and in the normal direction there will be some change. Okay. So here, if you consider first they are colliding here. Since they are point masses, we have to take it is the tangential direction and it is the normal direction. Okay, normal direction and tangential direction. Why? Because we don't know the sizes. So while colliding, they try to collide like this. Sorry, when they come in contact like this, then it will be the tangent drawn and it will be the normal. Sorry, it is the tangential direction. It is the normal. Okay. So here, look at Nana, after colliding, okay. Before and after means just resolve the components, Nana. Here it will come, it is in the downward direction. So it will come in the positive x-axis direction. So m1, u1, m into u1 cos theta means cos 30 degrees. I'm applying the law of conservation of linear momentum. Okay. Why? Because any type of collision obeys the law of conservation of linear momentum first. So m into 10 into cos 30 in this direction. And this one is upwards means in the first quadrant, x component is positive. Component is positive means it is making an angle 45 degrees with x axis. So m1, m2, u2, 5, and along x axis its component is cos 45 before collision is equals to after the collision means it is in the fourth quadrant. Okay, sorry. After the collision, here it is the first quadrant means again component x component is positive. So 2m into v1 cos 30. Okay, m to v2. 2m. So better I take it as v2 and this one is v2. First body, second body, no confusion. So this is 2m v2 cos 30. And here it is the fourth quadrant means x component is positive. X component positive means m. What is this? Second one, first mass, m. M into its component is v1 cos 45. Okay. So here basically you see there we have only two unknowns now. Everything we know. Two unknowns means we require only two equations. That's the initial what I told. No need to consider what the type of collision. No, we don't want the third equation. So here we know the two masses. So I can write in the normal direction, in the tangential direction, simply the law of conservation of linear momentum. So here I am getting m in all get cancelled and we are getting 10 cos 30 means 5 root 3. And this is 10 cos 45 means 5 root 2 you will get. This is what we are getting. And root 3 by 2 cos 1 by 2 cancel, correct only. And this is 2 v2 cos 30. Cos 30 means root 3 by 2, 2 cancel. Root 3 v2 plus this one will be v1 by root 2. Okay. This is something you are getting there. This is first equation. Okay. And in the normal direction means in the along y-axis, simple to understand. Along y-axis, okay. Instead of saying the normal and tangential, you can understand very easily. So in the along y-axis, its component will come along negative y-axis. Why? Because it is in the fourth quadrant. Negative y-axis means minus m1 u1. The other component will be sine 30 degrees. Okay, this is second mass. It is in the first quadrant means y component is positive. Y component positive is plus 2m into 5 into here sine 45. Okay. In the same way, quickly you can write the second one here. This is in the fourth quadrant. Again, its component y component will be negative. So mv1 sine 45 plus here you can write this is along the negative y coordinate. So minus. And here the second body, first quadrant. So after the collision along positive y-axis, 2m v2 sine 30. Okay. Yeah, by substituting here all the values, sine 30, sine 40, all the values, and cancelling m, you will get the second equation. In the two unknowns are there, v1 and v2. Straight away we can say the equations by solving those two, you will get v1 and v2 values. Okay. This one given in previous means, I think last year only, he gave in exam. And quotient of restitution is that we have to understand now what I am saying. Already I drew here one diagram. If this one tries to come to here and this one tries to come to there, they will come in contact like this at the horizon. Okay. And here while coming in contact, what I am saying, it is the tangent. It is the normal direction and it is the tangential direction. So coefficient of restitution we have to write how in the direction of normal. In the direction of normal means according to the previous diagram, I require the relative velocity of separation and relative velocity of approach along y-axis. Okay, along y-axis means E is equals to, generally we write V2 minus V1 by U1 minus U2. Here along the normal direction means in your assumption along y-axis, here I have to write. Okay, V1, V2 you are going to find out here now. Okay, those components straight away you can substitute. This is V2 along the positive positive y-axis. That one you can write V2 sine 30 minus V1. This is along the negative y-axis, so minus of minus plus V1 sine 45 divided by, you can write U1 and U2 along y-axis means U1. This is negative y-axis. It is in the fourth quadrant. Okay, it is in fourth quadrant means this is U1 10 sine 30. Okay, along negative y-axis, so minus, and here this one is along positive x-axis. Positive x-axis you will get here plus what is this 5, and angle is sine 40. By this you can find out the coefficient of restitution. Okay, so there the coefficient of restitution he did not ask, just I added that question. Why? Because he asked only this part, find out V1 and V2 in exam. If they ask the coefficient of restitution, how to solve? I gave one equation there for us. Okay, so wait now 1 minute please. These are disturbing. Okay, right. Yeah. Then here, Nana, suppose if I ask one question related to these collisions, okay, here, how to solve these two-dimensional normal direction, horizontal direction, like how we solve these two problems. One ball is hitting, ball is at rest, means second body is at rest. Here, both the bodies are in motion, considering them as point masses. Okay. Likewise, suppose if I ask one question here. Okay. Suppose this is one sphere, Nana, of radius r. Okay. And here, see, its mass, take it as some phi m. Okay, and it is placed on a floor. It's like this. Okay, consider as a sphere. Okay, of radius r, its mass is phi m, and initially at rest. Okay, initial velocity is equals to 0. Right? Consider it as a second body, Nana, which is at rest. Okay, it is sphere, not point mass. And here, suppose this is one point mass. Okay, of mass m, dropped suppose from a height h onto the sphere. Okay, and here, suppose after striking the surface, perfectly the collision is perfectly inelastic. Okay, perfect inelastic means we know E is equals to 0, coefficient of restitution. Okay, and after striking, my question is, suppose what is the velocity of sphere? What will be the velocity of the mass, small m, which is equals to, take it as capital. Or you can enter later two masses, capital. Okay, m phi. And it is actually striking along the line, along this line, from center. The distance here will be some r by 2. Okay, Here, if I ask what are the two velocities, first I think you may get some confusion. Sir, basically what we know, if the collision is perfect in elastic, sir, then in basic models, after the collision, both will view with the same velocity, which is v1 is equals to v2. Okay, that one we write using the law of conservation of linear momentum. Sorry, if they are point masses and moving with the velocities u1 and u2, masses are m1 and m2. Then you can say, sir, before collision m1 u1 plus m2 u2 equals to after the collision, if it is perfect inelastic, basically we understood that both stick together and move commonly with the same velocity. And here I write m1 plus m2 both move commonly with the velocity. That common velocity we know, sir, in basic model, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 equals to by m1 plus m2 equals to the velocity of both the bodies. Okay, so here if it is perfect inelastic, then why you are asking after the collision, what are the velocities of both the bodies? According to the known concept here in the basic model, what we know, they move with the common velocity. Then why don't you say here the velocity after the collision of first body is equals to the velocity of second body? Okay. To clarify that only, that doubt only, here I started this numerical. Okay. Keep in mind, if they are point masses, neglecting the sizes, then only you will get V1 is equals to V2 after the collision. They try to move with the same common velocity. Okay. If they are not point masses, you can understand here. The velocities after the collision are not equal, even though the collision is perfect inelastic. Okay. So here, my intention is, before the collision, I know the two velocities. Second body is at rest. First body dropped from certain height means before colliding, it strikes the sphere with a velocity of root of 2gh. That I know. Okay. So before the collision, the two velocities I know. After the collision only, he is asking. Okay. Here problem is, if it is not placed on floor, okay, then after striking here, one body tries, this sphere may assume like this, tries to move in this direction or in that direction or in that direction like that. But problem is, it is placed on floor now. Placed on floor, here it has to move after striking, neglecting the rotation. Why? Because we are not in rotatory motion. Neglecting the rotation. Here, translatorily, it tries to move in this direction only. Why? Because you are colliding here. If you collide here, left side of the center, then it tries to move towards right. Simple logic that you can understand. Even though suppose you don't know, sir, whether it moves towards right or left. And I am assuming after the collision, the second body tries to move with a velocity in this direction. Okay, and suppose in the numerical my assumption is wrong, then I will get the answer V2 will be like -2 or -3. That negative sign indicates that, sir, your assumption is wrong, sir. It is not moving towards left. You got negative sign, sir. Negative sign means it moves rightwards. If my assumption is wrong, that's why there is no problem on in any direction you can assume. Okay, and here. U1, this is the velocity before the collision, root of 2gh, I write here. And after the collision, it here moves in what direction, I don't know, Nana. Okay. First, I assume in a wrong direction so that you can understand the signs also there. I assume here one is sphere, other is a point mass means. Again, I am coming to write the law of conservation of linear momentum and coefficient of restitution. Here I write one is the tangential direction, other is to the tangent, normal means along the radius. Radius is normal. Okay, along the radius, I will get the normal direction. Okay, right. This is the radius R. Okay, whereas this part is R. Okay, right. So here one advantage by taking the normal direction and the tangential direction. Okay, the advantage is from the given information, I can find the angle here now. Okay, hypotenuse is radius, opposite side is r by 2. So straight away I can write sine theta is equals to r by 2 by r, opposite side by that one. That implies you will get theta is equals to 30. So here theta I know now, that is equals to 30 degrees. That is the advantage. Okay. So here after the collision, okay, this is the tangential direction, and keep in mind it is the normal direction. Okay, these are the two directions. Till here, you understood, Nana? Any confusion there? Oh, someone left here. Till here, any doubt?
No, sir.
So, able to understand till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You go with one known direction, Nana. What you require? V. V is in what direction? Along like x-axis. So, along x-axis, my question is, why don't you use the law of conservation of linear momentum? Okay. So along x-axis, okay sir, along x-axis, the law of conservation of linear momentum is in this direction I require. Okay. There you take care, Nana. Along x-axis means not so easy to write there. What? The law of conservation of linear momentum. Here, before the collision and after the collision, if you see, I can write very easily there, Nana. M1 U1 plus M2 U2 along x-axis. Okay. Here where to write? Better I erase this part, Nana. Okay. And I write this conclusion here. V1n is equals to V2n. V2n is nothing but V cos 60. Cos 60 is 1 by 2, which is V by 2. So to find out V1n, I am going to find out V value. Already I know V1t. Okay. So here, after erasing this part and about, so look at along x-axis, before collision and after collision, you see here, Nana. Before collision, M2 U2, this is 0. And before collision, look at it is striking the sphere here with some velocity u1. It is along y-axis now. It is along y-axis means there is no component along x-axis. No component along x-axis means along x-axis m1 u1. I am writing along x-axis. Okay, m1 u1, m1 that is m into u1 along x-axis is 0. So happily before collision all together equals to 0 I'm getting. Okay, which is equals to after the collision. Okay, m2 u2 I can write very easily. M2 v2 I can write very easily. Nana. M2 5m into v2. My assumption it is moving along negative x-axis. So minus v plus this is problem 5. Okay. After the collision, first body, what you assume here, once you see there, this is V1 tangential and this is V1 normal direction. Okay, same diagram I redo here. Okay, and look at this tangent, okay, with the horizontal corresponding perpendiculars. I think it will make an angle here theta. Theta 90 minus theta, okay, correct. That is theta. Means look at here, this normal makes an angle here theta. Okay. Then if it is theta, then it will be 90 minus theta. Okay. Then say the two things, Nana, V1T and V1N along x-axis. Along x-axis means, see here, along x-axis, its component I am writing M into, M is capital M into, okay, before after the collision, the velocity V1 I am writing along x-axis, V1 tangential component will be V1T cos 30 cos theta, and here this one also you will get in the same direction here, which is V1N plus V1N, okay, into sine cos 90 minus theta, which is sine theta sine 30. Okay, look at here, you are easily getting this is altogether 0. So 0 equals to, this is minus 5mv, okay, and I am getting here plus m into v1 tangential, already I know, root of gh by 2 into cos 30 is root 3 by 2, okay, and here this one is plus v1n sin 30 is 1 by 2, okay, and here if I take the 2 common from these two, I can write whole divided by 2. Okay. And if I take LCM, I can take 2 5s, this becomes 10 whole divided by 2. Okay. Then cross multiplication, that becomes 0. And here I can write, this one taken to the other hand, that is 10 in all, after taking m cancel. So 10b is equals to m cancel, I am getting here root of gh by 2 and 3 also taken in. So this is a 3gh by 2, okay, plus what, v1n, okay. This is the story, Nana. Whereas v1n is nothing but how much, v by 2, okay. So suppose if I substitute that v by 2 here, okay, that v by 2 taken to the other hand, I am getting 10v minus v by 2 is equals to root of 3gh by 2. And by doing some calculation, you are going to get v, what I am saying. We are eagerly waiting for that v, okay. That v you are going to get at 20 minus 1 means 19v by 2 is equals to root of 3gh by 2. Then you will get the v value. Okay, substitute v value here. After substituting, you will get v1n. That v1n substitute here and v1t substitute here. You will get v1. Finally, we got v1, velocity of first body. Okay. After substituting, if you see all these values, you can understand v1 is not equal to v pakka. Okay. Look at here, all these values if you substitute, you surely won't get is not equal to v. Not equal to v means, look at v2 after the collision, you already assumed it as v. Okay. v1, finally you are getting not equal to v. Look at v1 and v2 are equal. No, that's what I'm telling. Even though if it is a perfect inelastic collision, if the masses are not point masses, even though at least one mass is not point mass, then V1 is not equal to V2. And we apply V1 is equals to V2 only when the masses are point masses. Okay, this is one mode. In this case, what I am saying, after removing the mass, the original center of mass will be shifted away from the removed side to some other position C1 dash. Then the question is, what will be the shift? And keep in mind, the shift will be always along the line joining the two centers of mass. Okay, means what I am saying, if you take the regular shifts, okay, suppose this is one rectangle, okay, and it is actually considered as 4 quadrants here, and one quadrant is cut and removed like this. This part is removed. Then what will be the position of new center of mass by considering the center as the origin? He may ask the position vector, that is the disadvantage. Means by considering it as x-axis and this one as y-axis, they may ask here, if they have the shift, that will be very easy. They ask the position vector, means coordinates. Means after removing from this knowledge, what can we understand? If it is the full body rectangle, the center of mass, since it is a regular body, center of mass will be at the center, it is C1, and it is the part cut and removed. Okay, it is the part cut and removed means it's a center of mass. It is also a rectangle. So it will be along in the point of intersection of diagonals. It is C2. So if I join here the C1 and C2 which are coming on the diagonal of original body, so the shift will be according to this concept will be on the other side of the removed mass. Other side means shift to this side. Along the same line, it will be shifted somewhere to here. This is C1 dash. Okay, that shift very easy. We can find out now. Okay, how to find out, sir? The concept here is very simple. This is M1, the mass. Okay, total mass. Nana. Take it as capital here. Total mass, right? And its coordinates here. Okay, I say its coordinates means this coordinate is at where, Nana? 0, 0. I'm considering this as 0, 0. Okay, better you take, you can understand very easily like this. The remaining mass, by considering the removed mass as small m, whole mass as capital M, the remaining mass will be, can I write it as m minus m? It is the remaining mass. Remaining mass means its center of mass will be here. Okay, its coordinates are say some x comma y. Okay, I don't know what is x, what is y. He is asking those coordinates only here in this problem. Okay, suppose the coordinates of this one given as some a comma b, the coordinates of center of the removed mass. Removed mass, how much? The mass is m. Okay, its coordinates are here a comma b. Remaining mass coordinates are x comma y. Okay, so in this model, to understand very easily, I take m1 as m minus m and its coordinates x1 comma y1 as x comma y. Okay, and removed mass I take it as small m and its coordinates x2 comma y2 as a comma b. Okay, so look at here, Nana. Suppose whatever the mass removed, if I place it again, okay, at this position, if I place the center of mass of remaining mass plus removed mass will come to C1 or not if I place the removed mass here. Am I right? What I'm saying? This is actually removed mass, like filling the blocks now. Okay, when we are kids, we try to put the blocks in the gaps and try to create some shape. In the same way, this is one empty space. There you are placing one block to fill this space. If I place the removed mass again here, this will be the original body. Original body center of mass will be at C1, whose coordinates are 0, 0. Means can I say 0, 0 are the coordinates of the remaining mass plus the removed mass. Okay, so if I place it here, the coordinates come to 0, 0 means the coordinates of m1 and m2 will be, which are xcm comma ycm. They again come back if I place here to 0, 0. Okay, if you use that simple logic, very easy to find out the answer now. Therefore, xcm, which is 0, is equals to, I can write m1 x1, that is m minus m into x. plus m2x2, that is m into a, m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m2. No need to write. If I take cross multiplication, I will get it 0 now. And in the same way, YCM also I can write. YCM is 0 equals to, in the same way, m1 y1 plus m2 y2. Okay. So look at there. From this equation, I am getting x is equals to, here the x value. X comma y we are going to find out now. X is equals to, I am getting minus ma by m minus m. Okay, that's what I told. Here it will be shifted back. It is clearly indicating in opposite direction to A. Okay, so here this is x yeah, minus ma by m minus m, and y is equals to, from this equation you can write y equals to minus mb by m minus m. Okay, and very basic model, if they ask just shift, means c1 dash, which is shift, is equals to how much if they ask. Shift means here the coordinates changed from 0 comma 0 to x comma y nana. So he is asking just like the length of straight line in your mathematics. Length of straight line means root of, you know that, x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. That is simply x square plus y square. Okay, means in both you see, observe here, m by m minus m by m minus m common, and squaring, here you will get m square by m minus m whole square. Take it out, you will get m by m minus m common, root of, I will get minus a whole square plus minus b whole square. That is a square plus b square. Okay, this is the shift nana, and those are the coordinates. Okay, to understand this problem, if you come back to that example only, exactly by considering here in that question the length as L of rectangle, breadth as B, okay, and here the total mass of rectangle as capital M, and removed mass no need to give. Why? Because the removed mass is exactly 1/4, okay, 1/4 part. That's why removed mass here, what? Removed mass small m is equals to, I'm getting 1/4 part of full rectangle, which is m by 4. So that remaining mass m minus m is equals to, I'm getting 3m by 4. This is the remaining mass. Okay. And here the coordinates A and B you require. A and B are what? Coordinates of removed mass. Okay, where the center of mass lies. Since again it is rectangle, in this rectangle coordinates means exactly at the center, which is, look at Nana, this is L by 2, it is B by 2. So here, this one, all of you know the coordinates here, the point of intersection of diagonals, half of this length and half of that breadth. This is L by 2. In that half means A is equals to L by 4 and B is equals to L by, B by 4. I think you understood. Okay. This is B by 2. In that half, Y coordinate is, that is B is B by 4. Okay. Then you can find out what is x comma y. Okay, very simple. The x coordinate will be minus m by 4 into a L by 4 by m minus m 3m by 4. So you are getting here x is equals to minus L by 12. In the same way, you will get y is equals to minus b by 12. Therefore, it's a position vector what he asked, xi cap plus yj cap. So I am getting minus L by 12 I cap minus B by 12 J cap. Okay. And he is asking, suppose a shift. That shift also you can write very simple. Shift is equals to m by m minus m. Small m by m minus m is nothing but, here already cancelled, 1 by 3. So m by m minus m is 1 by 3 into root of a square plus b square. That is L square plus b square by 4 whole square taken out, that is 4. So you are getting root of L square plus b square by 12. Okay. And one more shortcut here. Very simple, Nana. This is m by m minus m into root of a square plus b square means, observe here. This is m by m minus m into, actually, it is the distance between the C1 and C2. Okay. So when you come to very basic models, this is nothing but the distance between C1 and C2. And without solving like this, if they ask only shift, not the coordinates, if they ask only shift, you can do in a shortcut way. Okay, which is exactly how much? 1/4 of the diagonal. Okay, 1/4 of the diagonal is m by m minus m is 1 by 3. Length of diagonal is root of L square plus B square. In that, this is 1/4. Actually, it is half, Nana. In that, again, half. That is 1/4. Straight away, you are getting the answer in one step. Root of L square plus B square by 3/4 are 12. Okay. So finding out the shift is very simple. If you remember the shortcut formula, m by m minus m into C1, C2. C1, C2 means distance between the center of removed mass and the center of original mass. If you remember this C1, C2 shortcut formula, shift very easy. But to find out, we have to use this method now. Like finding out the coordinates of removed mass, C2 coordinates A and B, then find out X and Y and write the position. Okay, this is one model.